Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Aset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might like it, and leave us a positive comment in the comment section. Also, please stick around because at the end of the video, I'm going to read out 2 of my favorite comments from previous videos. Now, we got a very interesting question today. A lot of people talk about this. I see this online all the time. And a lot of people talk about it. Nobody ever says why, but people always mention it. If you're an Aquarius woman and you're in an Aquarius group or you're anywhere really, and people are talking about Aquarius, one of the most common, the most common statements I hear about Aquarius women is that we're tough, we're rough, tomboyish, things along those lines. Even Aquarius women who look feminine have this reputation for having masculine energy. And a lot of people, they don't know why that is. And they've asked me to talk about why Aquarius women are so tough. Now, the thing about it is that toughness is generally associated with masculinity. But the truth is that men and women can be tough. I know men that are as soft as ice cream. Literally. They're not tough. And they will act tough when other guys are around, or they'll act tough when they think it's appropriate or they need to, but they're not really that tough. They're not that kind of person. And a lot of them will fake it out. I also know a lot of women who have that kind of toughness to them, that tough exterior, and some of them even fake it. Some of them try to appear more demure and more soft because they think it's more attractive to men. So it depends on the person. But the bottom line is that Aquarius women are often perceived as being this kind of tough energy because we're ruled by masculine planets. Whatever planet rules your signs, and in a lot of cases, it's either your sun, moon, rising. Those 3 are the 3 main ones. So depending upon what gender balances you have going on with your planets, that's going to state if your energy is perceived as being more masculine or more feminine. For example, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and Saturn, depending upon where you look at. In ancient times, they would say Saturn. In modern times, they say Uranus. Other astrologers say both. I use both because they both come in relevancy. So Saturn and Uranus are both masculine energies. So I'm ruled by those 2. Then my moon sign is Sagittarius, another masculine energy. So a woman like me is going to have some masculine energy. I'm going to have some characteristics that are traditionally prescribed, or some characteristics that are traditionally attributed to masculine energy. That's going to come across because, again, I'm ruled by these masculine planets. So that's why, and I think with Aquarius women, it's a little bit stronger because it's 2 masculine planets. So if we were ruled by 1 masculine and 1 feminine, that might give us more of a balance. But what I see is that being ruled by 2 masculine makes a lot of Aquarius men overly masculine, either hyper masculine or pretending to be hyper masculine. That's why a lot of them struggle with their sexuality, because they struggle with what's masculine and what's not. So, except for the ones who get emotionally healthy, of course, that is. Likewise, when you look at the Aquarius woman, again, has more of a masculine energy than another woman, even if she looks feminine. And a lot of Aquarius women I know are tough as nails. And I'm talking about inner strength, maybe physical strength too, because there was a point in my life when I was bench pressing 300 pounds. So we do maybe physical strength too, but a lot of it to me is inner strength. A lot of us, no matter what life throws at us, we keep on punching. We might fall down, we might be traumatized, we might be a little battle weary, we might be guarded as hell. But I tell you, a lot of the Aquarius women I know are very tough. They've been through a lot. They've made it through a lot. And some of them will punch your lights out. They will punch your lights out if need be. So I get that energy from a lot of Aquarius women, even the ones that don't look the part. I wear makeup all the time, and I'm one of the toughest people I know. Like I'm like a bunny. I just keep going at whatever it is I have to do. And it's an inner strength. And like I said, it's only seen as perceived as masculine because of the fact that it's always been attributed to the masculine gender. But I've always felt, this is my way of looking at it. I feel like every human being has masculine and feminine energy. All of us, males and females. And I feel like in your aura, in your makeup, either one is more dominant or they're both balanced. And if you sit and think about people, you can see what I'm talking about. Some people are more masculine than feminine. Some people, male or female, are more feminine than masculine. And some are nice and balanced. And that's because we all have that energy. But it just seems to me like when dealing with Aquarius women, a lot of them are heavier in their masculine energy, which to me is a plus because, again, I talked about that strength. Having strength, especially in the world, is very important. If you're somebody who doesn't have that inner strength, you find difficulty with almost everything because every situation that you come into, from work to your family, a lot of times does require you to tap into your inner strength. So I see a lot of people who don't really have it or haven't tapped into it, because they might actually have it, just never tapped into it. I see a lot of them struggling through basic day-to-day things because they're not tapping into their backbone. When I was a kid and you had a bully, and they don't do this now, I don't know why they don't do this now. I don't know if they might have just felt as though it was not, working. It might have been it. But when I was a kid, if you had a bully, your parents and your teachers and everybody told you to stand up to your bully. Tap into your inner strength, deal with your fears, and face your bully. There used to be TV shows back in the day, like, for example, Different Strokes. Arnold, if anybody remembers this, Arnold was one of the characters on the show, and he had a bully. And everybody kept telling him to stand up. His bully was called the Gooch. I'll never forget the guy's name because I thought it was so weird, the Gooch. And they kept telling him he had to stand up to the Gooch. Now, to me, I feel like for a lot of us, that's life, standing up to your bullies. Everybody got some Gooches out there, your boss, your ex. A lot of us have these Gooches. And I feel like what his parents told him, you have to stand up to them. And I feel like when you tap into that masculine energy, that's what you do. I think masculine and feminine energy play a part in all of us. And if you're able to utilize them both, I think it's extremely helpful. So again, as an Aquarius woman, we do have that masculine energy, going on, and a lot of times higher, even if it's just a little bit higher than the feminine energy. But it's very helpful to us in that way. But the way that is not helpful, that I see a lot of women struggle with, if a woman is heterosexual and she's an Aquarius, and she's into dating men, some of the times that dynamic has been a problem. Some women I know tell me that because of the fact that they are so strong, because they do stand so strongly in that energy, that sometimes it's hard for them to find a compatible partner. And I always tell them, find a man who is the opposite of your balance. Every man, like I said before, every man is not hard. We got gentlemen that write poetry. We have gentlemen that are therapists, that are more in tune with their feelings, We have men that have a better balance with it. So if you're a woman whose masculine energy is up here and your feminine energy is here, you need a man that's exactly the opposite of that. Heterosexual man, that's exactly the opposite of that. Sometimes they call them metrosexuals. They're a heterosexual man, but they're in tune with that vibration. And that's what you need. You need one of those balances to be able to work. Problem is, sometimes those women tell me they're not attracted to that. And therein lies the problem. So I think that you have to look at that balance. That balance to me is where it's at. I don't care if you are Aquarius woman, I don't care if you're gay, if you're straight, I don't care what you are. To me, your lover needs to have a good balance. They always talk about how opposites attract. Two people that are totally opposite. But two people who are totally opposite, but they're strong where the other one is weak, could be not a bad combination. You know, it's you just got to look at how it's balanced. There has to be balance in all things, including the energy of your relationship. So it really depends. I think that the most compatible people are the ones that aren't exactly opposite, meaning they do have a lot of things in common, but they're both a little weaker where the other one's a little stronger. And it doesn't matter if, as far as gender, it doesn't matter. Let's say the wife is good at working on the car and paying the bills. That's where she excels. Now, these are traditionally attributed to men. But if she's better at it, let her do it. Let's say he's better at cooking. I know some men who are fantastic chefs. Some of them for their profession and some of them not. So if you are a fantastic cook and you're a man and your wife is better at fixing the car, hey, let her fix the car before you mess it up, and you get in the kitchen before she mess it up. And a lot of times couples do come to that understanding, but sometimes the gender roles that they have up here stops them from doing it. So you'll see him out there underneath the car not knowing what he's doing. You know, messing up the car, you know, and she in there burning the souffle when all they had to do was switch, but they didn't, because they both, one or both of them, had it in their mind that they had to play out these archaic gender roles. So I don't think it's about playing out gender roles. I think it's about playing out what your energy naturally is. And some of the Aquarius women who've told me that they aren't attracted to men who were metrosexual, when we got down to the nitty gritty of it, a lot of it had to do with how they were raised. They weren't raised to see a man that way. And I'm like, well, men aren't raised to see you this way. So you both have to tweak your vision just a little bit. All right, guys, now let's take a look at some of these great comments. The first one came from Chase Washington. Chase Washington said, I love your video. Very informative, and I just love your vibe. Thank you, Chase. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming around. Thank you for hanging around. And please give this video a thumbs up and pass any video that you like on to somebody else who might like it. Thank you so much. And then we have Chudisky. I think that says Chudisky. I can't tell. The way that it's spelled, that's what I think it says. And it says here, I love you, Q. Thank you. Love you too. You're so welcome. Thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving a positive comment. I really appreciate it. As a matter of fact, you've left a couple comments in the last couple of days, and I really appreciated all of them. Thank you so much. All right, guys, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want a reading, email me. All my information is underneath this video, and come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.